Hi, I'm Josh Kaplan, a program manager with the Power BI developer experience, and I'm going to show you an application that I've built that demonstrates real-time capabilities using the Power BI developer APIs. To start out with, I created a console application that hosts an HTTP listener in it. And as part of that, I also host a little website in there. And when requests come into that to that HTTP listener or to that website, I break apart the user request and I sniff out all the little device details about the request that came in, such as the OS, device make and model, and I push that information into a data set that's inside Power BI. So let's see what that looks like. First, as I mentioned, I have a little console application which I'll go ahead and start to run. When it runs, it's going to ask me to log into Power BI. I'll give it my Power BI login credentials and say sign in. The app's going to ask me to approve certain permissions, like it can view my content, create new content, and add data to my data sets in Power BI. I'll say accept. Now inside my code, I go ahead and I call get datasets, which gives me an enumeration of all the datasets that show up in my Power BI account. As you can see here, the list matches. So I can select an existing dataset to push my data into, or I can create a new one. So in this case, I'm going to create a new one called site usage. And then when I hit enter here, I'm going to call the post dataset API to actually go ahead and create the dataset. And I'm going to, in my code, I actually give the schema for the table. So I'm going to hit enter, and if you watch on the left-hand side, you'll see the new dataset appear. And right here, you see a new dataset called site usage show up, and it's bolded. At this point now, I've started my website running. It's listening on this endpoint here. I happen to be on an Azure VM, so I can just go to that website directly from any browser. I've also set up a little friendly URL for it, aka.ms/pushapp. And this is all the website does. It just says device telemetry recorded. But in that time, it also looked at the device information that I was using, or the device I was using, and pushed that information to Power BI. So let's actually explore that data set that we created. And let's look at the different device. So I was coming from a PC, and PC gets recorded as other. Let's look at something maybe a little bit more interesting. Let's look at the OS. All right, the OS was Windows 8.1. So let me do a couple things here. I can save this report if I want to. I can pin this to my dashboard. Let me turn this into a pie chart, and I'll also pin. Let's actually look at just the total number of requests that are coming in. I'll just take a count of all the rows. We'll make this into a card. I'll pin that. I only made the one request, so there's only one showing up. And let's look at requests over time. Again, there's only one of them. I'll pin that and save. Go back to the dashboard. Let's organize this a little better. OS. Something like that. And let's send a couple more requests through to get some more interesting data. So as I refresh the browser, you see the dashboard update in real time. And as these requests hit my website or hit my little console application, I'm doing a post rows request through the developer APIs directly to this account. And let's maybe try it from a different device so we get something more than just Windows. See, my Android phone comes in. And this is just a quick example of a real-time demo using the Power BI developer APIs. For more information on how to do this yourself, please go to dev.powerbi.com.